Mama Gyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshikarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki. Sanatan Prabhu, you want to do a Chinese translation? Yes, okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. So this afternoon we have a little bit of time to have some questions and answers. Maybe you have some questions and we can discuss.
大家好，今日我哋晏晝咧仲有啲時間喺度，咁大家或者有啲咩問題啊，咁我就將跟住我解答。
Many of the scriptures, they are full of different dialogues, conversations.
咁好多經典嚟講咧，都會有好多嘅對話喺度。
In one famous conversation, Yamaraj, the god of death, begins to ask Yudhishthira many different questions.
咁其中一班對話嚟講咧，就係閻羅王啊，就問呢個 Yudhishthira 一番説話。
Yamaraj asks him, what is heavier than the mountain?
咁佢問一個問題就係有咩比個山更加係重嘅咧？
And Yudhishthira says, the love of the mother.
跟住佢講就係媽媽嗰個寶福入面抱住邊個最重？
Yamaraj asks him, what is faster than the wind?
咁閻羅王先問喺度咧，比咩係比風更加快嘅咧？
And Yudhishthira says, the speed of the mind.
跟住講就係個心意嚟講，就係比風更加快。
Yamaraj asks him, what is more numerous than the blades of grass
咁佢講到
on the earth?
咁係咪喺世上嚟講咧，比一棵草嚟講係更加係光耀嘅咧？
And Yudhishthira said, the material desires
咁佢
that
又講
the living
就物質
entity
業嚟講
has.
係比呢方面更加係犀利。
Yamaraj asks him, what does one have to give up so that everyone will love them?
咁佢話有咩嚟講，一個人嚟講會係放棄呢樣嘢嚟講，而每一個咧中意嗰樣嘢。
So Yudhishthira says, envy.
跟住呢個嚟講就係咩咧？呢個就係妒忌。
If you give up envy, everyone will be your friend.
當你能夠拋開妒忌嚟講咧，就每一個人都可以成為你嘅朋友。
Even your enemy won't be able to remain your enemy.
即使你以前嘅朋友嚟講咧，亦都唔會再係你嘅。以前嘅敵人嚟講咧，都唔會再係你嘅朋友。
Yamaraj asked Yudhishthira, what should one give up so that they will have no regrets in their life?
咁佢一個人嚟講，有一樣嘢係可以放棄咗出嚟講，佢會唔會係覺得係遺憾嘅呢一生？
Yudhishthira says, anger.
呢個就係憤怒，
Because anger is one letter short of danger.
因為呢個憤怒嚟講咧，其實爭一個字喺度，呢個字就係危險。
Yamaraj says, what is the most amazing thing in the world?
跟住閻羅王又問個問題喺度，究竟呢個世界上最驚訝嘅一件事係乜嘢咧？
Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti hayamalayam sheshastavanamichanti kimascharya mataparam. He says, every single day people are dying.
每一日嚟講都有人係死亡，
But I think I will live here forever.
但係我會諗嚟講，我會係繼續永遠係生存喺度。
What can be more amazing than this?
除咗呢樣嘢嚟講係比可以係比呢件嘢更加驚訝。
So like this, many questions and answers, you learn many things, no?
咁就係咁樣嚟講，係對呢方面嘅對答嚟講咧，從中我哋就可以學到好多嘢。
So perhaps you have some questions?
或者大家已經係有問題咧。
Louder, louder, louder.
110,000 questions I have,
Okay, we'll start with one.
but I'll ask you only three, Maharaji. Maharaji, just like yesterday, we spoke about how stopping when you're running, and you explained it very well to my question. I also want your...
Sorry. I think there's a bottle there. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay, Prabhuji. Maharaji.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you so much. Yes, please continue.
So Maharaji, I want your insight on three things. First is patience, second is anger, and third is disappointment.
That's three questions.
Yeah, I asked you out of 10,000, I'll ask just three questions. I just want your insight on these three.
So she wants to ask about patience, anger, and what's the third one?
Disappointment.
咁佢問到問題就係點樣去處理，譬如係呢個係信心啦、渴望啦，呢個係失望。
So Rupa Goswami, he says that there are different principles which are favorable to the cultivation of devotion.
咁不過Swami提到嚟講咧，有福音典嚟講咧，係對呢個奉獻服務嚟講係有好處。
Utsaha nishchayat dhairyat. One has to be enthusiastic, but they have to be patient.
呢個人嚟講要充滿熱心喺度，但係亦都要有耐心。
But in reality, Krishna consciousness is very, very quick.
咁事實上嚟講咧，事實嚟講咧，Krishna 知覺嚟講係好快。
Because Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, for thousands and thousands of lives we forgot Krishna.
因為成千上萬咁多世嚟講咧，我哋都係忘記咗 Krishna。
But now, in one life, you can regain what you forgot for lifetimes.
但係喺呢一世嚟講咧，我哋係重新記翻我哋咁多世嚟講忘記嘅嘢，都係做得到。
So we tell people, be patient, it takes one lifetime.
咁我哋同你講嚟講咧，你要耐心喺度啦，淨係淨係到你用呢一生嘅時間就可以做到。
But actually, what's one lifetime in comparison to thousands of lifetimes?
咁事實上，你相比之下嚟講，淨係一世嘅時間，同呢個咁多世，甚至上萬世嚟講相比之下咧。
So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, you've given so many lives to Maya.
咁巴里斯丹曾經咁講過啦，我哋已經花咗我哋咁多生咁多世係俾媽人。
Maya means illusion. So many lives for pursuing material things.
媽人嘅意思嚟講就係假象咁做咧，假象就係追求啲物質方面嘅嘢。
Now give one life to Krishna.
但係先嚟講，而家俾一生嘅時間嚟講，付出一生嘅時間。
But we want everything to happen within 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. Just one life. Be patient.
但係我哋可能就想話想1年啊、2年或者2、3時間嚟講做一樣嘢喎，就唔好咁樣諗，你只係用一世嘅時間。
If you practice every day,
如果你每日咁去收集，
then after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you look back and you realize you're a different person.
當你過咗5年、10年、20年之後嚟講，你回頭望嚟講，你發覺你已經係變咗另一個人。
When the aeroplane takes off and it goes through the clouds,
好似架飛機咧飛上天空嗰時嚟講，係穿過啲雲層。
then when you look out of the window, you think, going so slow.
當我哋望出個窗口時嚟講，佢點咁慢咁樣嘅飛得？
But then 8 hours later, you come below the clouds and you realize, my God, I've come halfway across the world.
但係當佢再穿翻落雲層嗰時嚟講，你睇翻窗口之外嚟講，原來你已經去到你個旅途嘅一半啦，已經。
Don't underestimate how much progress you're making.
千祈唔好低估咗嚟講，你已經係有幾多嘅進步。
But the magic advice is keep going.
但係呢個就好神奇嘅一個摩西樣嗰度，你係繼續係去前進。
Patience.
耐心啲。
Oh, then I have to say something about anger and disappointment? Shall I ask others to ask and then I come back to yours? Just to give everyone a chance. Is that okay?
俾每一個人個機會喺度啦，或者係第二個問題問咗之後再翻轉頭答你個問題。
Anyone else have a question?
有其他人有問題？
We can overcome all the problems like fear by chanting.
I said that we can overcome fears and problems by chanting.
咁我聽講過嚟講咧，透過唱誦嚟講，我哋可以係克服呢個恐懼。
Only chanting is enough, or we have to do many other things also.
係咪淨係我哋靠唱誦嘅經得，或者仲要再多其他嘅嘢喺度咧？
See, Mataji, when you are chanting, what are you asking Krishna for?
當我哋唱誦嗰時嚟講，我哋係問緊 Krishna 啲乜嘢喺度？
What is the translation of the Maha Mantra?
Hare Krishna 座嗰個翻譯嚟講係點樣解
Please
釋？
Krishna, please engage me in your service.
親愛 Krishna，請你係俾我從事呢個奉獻服務。
So when you tell Krishna, please engage me in your service, and then Krishna gives you some service, then you can't say, no, Krishna, I'm chanting.
咁當我哋同求 Krishna 嚟講係俾我哋服務嗰時嚟講，當 Krishna 俾服務嗰時嚟講咧，跟住對唔住 Krishna， 我而家唱誦緊咧，我唔做住。
So we chant Hare Krishna, but we must also understand what is the meaning.
當我哋唱誦 Hare Krishna 嘅同時嚟講咧，我亦都要知道究竟唱誦呢個曼陀嘅意思係乜嘢。
And if we understand the meaning, then we'll understand that yes, we chant Hare Krishna, we pray for service, and then in our life we try to do some service.
當我哋唱誦嗰時，我哋明白到我哋係無上，我哋係唱誦。同時間嚟講咧，我哋唱誦之外嚟講，我哋當要做奉獻服務。喺我哋除咗唱誦之外嚟講，有奉獻服務機會嚟講咧，我哋就要做奉獻服務。
You can paint for Krishna, you can cook for Krishna, you can speak about Krishna, you can clean Krishna's temple.
你可以清潔 Krishna 嘅廟宇喺度啦，或者係為 Krishna 作油畫喺度啦，或者係為 Krishna 煮食嘅。
In the manor, we had one Mataji, her name was Mother Kalangana.
咁我哋喺英國嚟講咧，廟宇度有個 Maharaja 啦。
And for 40 years, she made Krishna's Mangalarti sweets. That was her service.
咁佢係40年啊，冇停過喺度，都係朝頭早係為 Krishna 準備甜點喺度嘅，冇停過。
She would wake up at midnight and she would chant all her 16 rounds. And then at 2 a.m. in the morning, she'd begin cooking.
咁佢每一早嚟講好早起身喺度咧，一早已經唱晒16個圈喺度，跟住每早晨嘅2點鐘咧就開始係煮嘢。
And every single sweet of Krishna, she hand painted. It took 15 minutes to paint each sweet.
每一個甜品嚟講咧，個美食個甜品嚟講咧，佢曾經係畫啲畫上去呢個，每畫啲嘢上去嚟講15分鐘時間。
And she did that her whole life. Perfect life.
咁係差唔多，你要講一生嚟講，咁多年時間都係做緊啲咁嘅嘢。
We had one other devotee at the Mana, Prayojana. His whole life, he cleaned Krishna's toilets.
咁另外一個奉獻者嚟講咧，佢係花咗整整一生時間都係為 Krishna 清潔佢嗰個廁所嘅。
He said Krishna's toilet should be the cleanest toilet.
咁佢話 Krishna 嘅一個洗手間嚟講，應該係一個最乾淨嘅洗手間。
So nobody's big, nobody's small.
冇咩人嚟講係叫做好大嘅貢獻，或者咩人係啲好少嘅貢獻喺度。
Everyone can do some service that will touch Krishna's heart.
每個人都可以做一啲服務嚟講咧，可以打動 Krishna 嘅內心。
Then your life becomes perfect.
咁你嘅一生嚟講就得到完美。
Yes. How is he now? Yes, Prayojana Prabhu, he for many years cleaned Krishna's toilets. Now his health is not so good.
咁媽姐問到話點樣認識嗰位瀑布嚟講，咁佢話翻去已經其實好多年時間都係清潔Krishna個洗手間，但係而家身體唔係咁好。
So now he's in a wheelchair, but he still comes for morning program every day.
咁即使而家嚟講，可能身體唔係咁好，唔係做到以前咁多服務，但係每日都係嚟廟宇嗰度。
And his service now is to give out the flowers in Guru Puja.
咁而家嚟講，佢嘅服務嚟講咧，就係每一次Guru Puja嗰時嚟講，佢就俾啲派發啲花俾人哋供奉。
So he's happy.
佢哋係做緊服務，好開心。
What does a devotee need? A devotee just needs, Prabhupada said, a little bit of prasadam, somewhere to lie down, and some service for Krishna.
咁聖卡波講到你奉獻者其實要求嘅嘢好簡單喺度咧，有些少嘅際遇喺度咧，有個地方俾佢休息喺度咧，然後跟住就係為 Krishna 做服務。
Everything else extra.
咁其他嘢嚟講咧係額外嘅嘢。
Simple living, high thinking.
呢個就係簡單嘅生活，崇高嘅思想。
But now people are simply living, hardly thinking.
但係而家啲人嚟講係調翻轉喺度喎，反而你嘅生活係好複雜喺度嚟講，思想上好複雜喺度咧，生活嚟講好奢侈。
Yes. Thank Prabhu for playing Mridanga the whole harinam.
多謝爸爸係整個嗨欖嚟講都可以打木打鼓。
But you know, Thakur says, when I hear the sound of the Mridanga, my heart begins to dance.
咁不都佢都曾經講過，當我聽到麥登格嘅鼓聲嗰時嚟講咧，我內心嚟講喺度跳動。
Puji, I watched your podcast. So there's one interesting story about you, that how did you join the first harinam, and you were very shy and you were not very much join harinam. Could you please share with us again how did you start joining harinam, first harinam, how did you start?
佢講到係曾經好似聽過講媽，其實第一次嗨欖好似好怕醜喺度點樣即係唔係咁怕咁即係去好去好活躍咁唱嗨欖咁，佢而家點樣克服咗嚟講，而家可以係走好似嗨欖咁樣。
I think this way, yeah, other way, other way, other way. Is it me? Yeah, I like the devotees, but I didn't want to go on harinam.
我話開頭嗰時嚟講，我喜歡奉獻者，但係我唔想出去嗨欖。
I was a very shy person, so to come in the middle of the town and begin to dance and everyone looking at you is like...
咁我係比較怕醜嘅人嚟喺度啊！話走喺市區嗰度嚟講，咁多人望住我嚟講，喺度跳舞嚟講我有些少怕醜喺度。
So when I joined the temple, I said, I can do any service, but harinam, I have to avoid it somehow.
咁當時我參加廟嗰時嚟講，我就同佢哋講到，所有服務我都可以做喺度。第一嚟講就係我要避免去嗨啦。
So every week when they would go out for harinam, I would make some excuse. No, this service needs to be done. I'll wash the pots. No one is there. I'll make the sacrifice.
所以每一次嚟講咧，啱啱碰見嚟嗨欖嗰時嚟講，我就會揾個藉口喺度。呢樣嘢要做我要洗個煲喺度咁跟住我就係唔出去嗨欖。
So devotees, you can't trick them. They figure it out. He's avoiding.
咁奉獻者嚟講，你佢唔到喺度嘅，佢一諗嚟講知道，你係揾緊藉口喺度。
So one week, one devotee said, we're going out on harinam, but we're going to the city 3 hours away.
咁跟住佢話有一次個奉獻者係咁講，我今日去嗨欖度，不過我哋咧會係遠離嗰個呢個市中心嚟講係3個鐘頭嘅地方。
So in my mind, I thought, okay, anyway, but at least it's 3 hours away. I don't know anyone in that city, so it will be okay. I'll just be in the middle and, wear some sunglasses.
咁我就咁去諗喺度啦，唔緊要啦，3個鐘頭咁遠嘅地方嚟講冇人識我喺度嘅，唔緊要我仲戴埋太陽眼鏡嚟講，所以唔驚冇人認到我。
So then we got into the van and we started driving.
咁於是我哋係坐上 van 仔喺度啦，跟住開車去啦。
And then after 10 minutes, there was a massive traffic jam.
但係冇幾耐嚟講咧，跟住有一個好大嘅塞車喺度。
So then then the driver said, no, we can't go to that town. It will take all day.
咁跟住
He
個
said, we would just go to London. London?
跟住個婦姐講到，哇！我就嗰個地方嚟講太遠喺度啦。如果我哋去嗰度咁塞車法，可能成日先去到嗰度，不如我哋近緊地啦，去倫敦算啦。
So they rerouted the bus into London and they started doing the harinam right outside my university.
於是嚟講，佢哋就轉方向嚟講，就去到呢個倫敦一個市地方。咁喺嗰個地方嚟講，就啱喺咩咧？就係我讀大學嘅門口嗰度。
So I thought, oh, Krishna has a sense of humor.
咁於是嚟講，係 Krishna 嚟講真係識得搞啲幽默喺度，啲風趣嘅。
So anyway, we began the harinam. I was looking, like my friends are here. So like this, we were walking on the harinam. I was looking.
咁於是我哋一邊行開啦，我一邊去周圍望緊，有冇人喺度咧？我啲朋友喺度，有冇人望住我喺度？
And then at one point, I thought I saw my friends.
咁啱突然之間有一點嚟講，我就見到我朋友喺度。
So the harinam was moving forward, but I was looking back. Was that them? Was that them?
咁嗰陣時嚟講係咁行緊喺度咧，跟住我諗我轉頭望到個朋友喺度，究竟點樣咧？究竟點？
So the harinam was moving forward, but I was looking back, but the harinam was still moving. But because I was looking back, at one point, I hit a lamppost.
咁跟住，由於嚟講咧，我個頭係咁望後邊嗰度咧，冇睇前面嗰度，跟住行到咁上咧，我就撞到燈柱喺度。
So then I went down on the ground, like completely, just fainted.
咁當時喺度撞頭撞得好重嗰度，差唔多暈咁滯喺度跌咗落地下。
So the devotees, they all came around me and they just did a louder kirtan.
咁當伴即見到咁嚟講咧，跟住即係圍住我嚟講，
Someone help me.
咁更加係唱得大聲喺度嘅。咁我問邊個可唔可以幫我？
Anyway, finally they picked me up.
咁於是嚟講，佢哋係扶起我啦。
And then one devotee said, "You learned the lesson, right?"
咁個伴即係講話，你而家你學到一上咗課啦，已經學到嘢啦。
I said, "What's the lesson?"
你究竟係學到啲乜嘢啊？
He said, "The lesson is once you come to Krishna consciousness, never look back."
所以講話呢個你學嘅嘢就係當你嚟咗 Krishna 之國嚟講，唔好再睇翻轉頭以前嘅嘢嘅。
So I realized, don't look back on harinam.
咁於是我學識啲嘢嚟講，當你哈攬時嚟，咁唔好睇翻轉頭。
So yeah, in the beginning, we sometimes don't feel so confident to do harinam or go on book distribution.
咁開頭我哋去哈攬時嚟講，或者會係覺得怕醜喺度啊，冇信心喺度啊，走去傾哈啲攬啊，或者話派書。
But after some time, you realize who's mad? Is it us or is it all them?
咁於是多一段時間之後，你會明白到究竟係我哋係唔正常啦、黐線啦，有啲人嚟講係唔正常，係佢哋嘅事。
They think you're mad, you think they're mad. Everyone thinks everyone else is mad anyway.
咁無論點都好啦，你諗嗰啲人嚟講黐線，嗰啲亦都係諗你係黐線咁樣，人就係咁樣嘅啫。
Sometimes when I'm on the airport, then already I'm 7 foot tall, then like full orange, then shaved head. So when I'm on the airport, many times people just stare at me. They look at me.
咁好似譬如我一次去機場都係喺度啦，咁一來我人比較生得高大啦，成7尺喺度啦，咁跟住我又穿上一身咁嘅衣服喺度啦，咁啲人會係望實我喺度。
So nowadays what I do is when someone stares at me, I just start staring at them.
咁而家學到咩咧？就係每一次啲人望實我嗰陣嚟講，我就停咗喺度嚟講，我望實翻佢哋，跟住我企咗喺
Keep
度，
looking at them.
我繼都係眼定定咁望住佢哋。
And then after some time, they think like, is something wrong with me?
咁當你咁樣望佢哋講，調翻轉頭嚟講，佢覺得佢自己係有咩問題咧？點解佢望住我咧？
So it's all in the mind.
全部呢個係個心意嘅問題喺度。
If you are confident,
如果你係充滿信心嘅話，
no one will have a problem.
冇人嚟講會係令
If
到
you're
你
shy, then everyone will.
咁當你係嗰怕醜嗰時，你反而係會發生作用。
So I tell people we have to be Krishna conscious and Krishna confident.
咁我就可以同人講，你有 Krishna 知覺咧，亦都有 Krishna 嘅信心啊。
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, can you tell some pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in South India?
媽，可唔可以講一講喺Lord Chaitanya向南印度一啲消嘅時光？
So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after he took sannyas, when he began traveling,
咁當主太爺係做咗散一時之後嚟講咧，做咗托缽僧之後嚟講咧，跟住就開始去嗰個遊歷喺度。
so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walked for 2 years,
咁主太爺嚟講，佢雲遊嚟講係行咗2年嘅，
and he walked for 4,000 kilometers.
佢行咗係4000公里，
And he went all over South India.
佢係行遍整個南印度。
So there he met many, many wonderful people.
喺嗰度嚟講，佢係見過好多嘅一個啲好神奇嘅人物喺度。
So one of the places that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to was Sri Rangam.
咁其中一個地方嚟講就係去到嘅地方，嗰個地方就係小香港。
So in Sri Rangam, there is the headquarters of the Sri Sampradaya.
咁小香港嚟講咧，就係書心不單係嗰個總部嚟嘅。
So they are also Vaishnavas, but worshippers of Narayan.
咁佢哋都係外事難眼度啦，不過佢哋崇拜嚟講就係 Narayan。
So there Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed with someone called Vyankata.
咁主要坦爺嚟講就係同一個奉獻叫 Young Bhakta 就係住埋一齊喺度。
And one day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to challenge him.
咁有一日嚟講咧，主要坦爺嚟講就係決定嚟講就係同佢係一個爭辯一個挑戰佢。
So Mahaprabhu, he looked at Vyankata and he said, who is higher, Krishna or Narayan?
於是佢有一日就問佢 Young Bhakta 嚟講，就問佢究竟係 Narayan 嘅係比高啲，嘅 Krishna 係比較係高即係高啲咧？
So Vyankata said, no difference.
跟住
They're the same.
Young Bhakta 就講就係話佢哋兩個都一樣係冇唔同嘅。
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, they are not the same. Because if they're the same, why did Lakshmi, who's the consort of Narayan, want to dance with Krishna?
咁佢哋唔同喺度啊！如果佢哋係同嘅話嚟講，點解 Lakshmi 係 Narayan 嘅一個伴侶嚟講，佢想同 Krishna 嚟跳舞咧？
So Vyankata he got confused.
咁於是 Young Bhakta 就覺得係好混亂啦佢。
So there Mahaprabhu began to laugh and then he recited a verse.
咁主要坦爺嚟講開始係笑啦，跟住係念咗一個詩詞。
Siddhantatastva vedeti Shrisha Krishna Swarupayo Rasanot Krishyate Krishna Rupamesha Rasastiti. Narayan and Krishna, they are the same in tattva or identity.
咁佢哋係Krishna 同 Narayan 喺 Tattva 嚟講咧，或者身份嚟講係一樣嘅。
But when it comes to rasa or sweetness,
但係當佢哋去到講到係 rasa 或者個甜味嘅時候咧，
then nobody can compare with Krishna.
但係冇一人嚟講可以同 Krishna 係相比。
Narayan is God at work, but
Come,
Krishna is God at home.
咁 Narayan 嚟講咧就係喺工作室入邊嘅 Krishna， 而 Krishna 嚟講就喺屋企嘅 Krishna。
And like this, through these conversations, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead.
通過呢番嘅一個對話嚟講咧，主要坦爺嚟講就確立咗 Krishna 嚟講就係至尊聖格神手。
One British politician, he went to India and then he came back and he was about to have a meeting with his colleagues.
咁有一個印度一個啲係領袖嗰啲政府人員喺度啦，佢去完印度之後，跟住翻去同嗰啲同事喺一齊傾偈。
So just before the meeting started, they asked him, you just came back from India. Can you tell us something you learnt in India?
咁當我哋個聚會嗰陣時嚟講咧，佢啲同事就問佢喺度啦，你啱啱從印度翻嚟喺度咧，你可唔可以講一啲嘢關於印度嘅俾我哋聽？
So he thought for a moment and he said, I learned that Krishna is definitely God.
咁跟住諗咗一陣之嚟講，就同佢同事講到，你話我諗嚟講 Krishna 肯定係呢個至尊係神嚟嘅。
So they said, how? Why?
佢話點解同埋點解會係咁喺度咧？
He said, because whenever I saw pictures of different gods, they were doing some austerity, some meditation, some study, some work.
佢因為我見到好多嘅神嗰陣時嚟講咧，都係一定係做緊啲嘢喺度啊，或者做緊苦行喺度啊，有啲嘢係做緊喺度嘅。
But whenever I saw a picture of Krishna, he was just having a good time.
但係當我見到 Krishna 嚟講咧，都係咁開心，時時都係玩緊喺度。
So I realized he must be God.
因為我諗緊你，所以我就諗你講一定係神。
Because the person on the top has no work to do.
因為個頭每間公司嘅頭嚟講係乜都唔使做喺度。
Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. The supreme person, no work to do.
至尊嘅人物嚟講係唔使做嘢喺度。
Only lila.
即係嚟講係上演逍遙時光。
In English, they say just for fun.
咁喺英文嚟講就係話係享受啊玩緊喺度。
So Krishna, everything he does is just for fun.
咁 Krishna 所做嚟講咧就係玩樂喺度。
And therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established that Krishna, he is so sweet that he is the person we're all looking for.
咁主要坦嘢嚟講就係確立嚟講 ，Krishna 嚟講係最甜美嘅人物嚟嘅。咁呢個人物嚟講就係我哋所有人所追求嘅人物。
It's a follow-up question. So in Venkatapata, if they have also Bhakti Shastra, then how come they do not read even, in scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, which is obviously saying that Krishna is Bhagavad Swayam. Why don't they know that Krishna is the thing Narayana is supreme?
咁佢提到嚟講話呢個鳳姐嚟講，其實佢都有讀數嘅經典，咁或者係博根亞談佢都讀過喺度。而博根亞談嚟講咧，就提到嚟講 Krishna 係至尊最原始嘅聖嘅神手喺度，點解佢會知道咧？
See, Narayan is the supreme.
咁我哋睇咧講譬
They're not
如
wrong.
Narayan 嚟講係至尊喺度嘅。
It's just that they haven't tasted the sweetness of Krishna.
而佢哋係未品嚐到 Krishna 嗰種咁嘅甜美嘅味道。
Therefore, Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula Oya Sadhu Sang. Krishna Prema Janama Teho Puna Mukhya Ang. You can only understand the sweetness of Krishna if you come in contact with a Krishna Bhakta.
你只係透過 Krishna 嘅奉獻者身上，你先可以係體驗到、品嚐到 Krishna 嗰種嘅甜美嘅。
Therefore, as soon as he came in contact with the ultimate Krishna Bhakta, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, God who had come as a devotee, then by that Sangha, he was able to understand the sweetness of Krishna.
就係最後透到佢係見到呢個奉獻者嘅聯誼咧，就係主要坦然佢本身係以奉獻者嘅形式出現喺度啦。透過同主要坦然嘅聯誼嚟講，先係真正品嚐到 Krishna 嘅味道。
Does that make sense? You want to ask something more? So the point is that the Bhagavatam explains that. See, how does the Bhagavatam begin? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Krishna, the Bhagavatam begins by talking about the Supreme Person who's Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya means the son of Vasudev. So that's not Krishna in Vrindavan.
咁呢個就係講到譬如你哋博加亞談你睇到嚟講，博加亞談第一句嚟講就 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya。咁佢 Bhagavate Vasudevaya 嘅意思就係呢個係Vasudeva 嘅兒子喺度，但係呢個 Vasudeva 嚟講唔係Vrindavan嘅 Krishna。
So these are all different Krishnas.
其實呢啲嚟講係講緊唔同嘅 Krishna。
Vasudev is Krishna, Narayan is Krishna, Nandanandan, Shyam Sundar is Krishna, but they're all different Krishnas.
Vasudeva 係 Krishna 喺度啦，跟 Narayan 係 Krishna 喺度啦。Nandanandan 亦都係 Krishna 啦，咁佢哋其實啲全部都係唔同嘅 Krishna。
So, see, these are, like for example, Srimati Radharani. Is she in Srimad Bhagavatam?
好似我哋講係 Srimati Radharani。
Is her name mentioned?
咁好似博加亞談嚟講，有冇提到佢個名咧？
Yes and no.
有定冇？
How can Srimati Radharani not be in Bhagavatam?
點解
Of
博今日談
course.
嚟講冇講到佢個名咧？
But it's hidden.
其實嚟講係隱藏咗。
Anayaradhito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvara Tanno Vihaya Govinda Pritoyam Mahatapayam. There was one gopi who worshipped Krishna in a very, very special way. Sukadev Goswami indirectly mentioned Srimati Radharani.
所以嘅 Dave Goswami 嚟講，用一個好念咗一句嘅詩詞咁講到，佢都有一個木牛姑娘嚟講，一個好特別嘅一個方式嚟講係崇拜 Krishna， 係咁間接嚟講係講到啦，得啦。
So the Shastra contains many, many things, but when you come in contact with a Vaishnava, then they can reveal the deeper secrets of Shastra.
喺經典嚟講，入邊我包含埋好多嘢喺度嘅。但係當你係真正接觸到個愛士那亞嚟講咧，愛士那亞先係揭示入邊好多嘅深入嘅嘢俾你知道。
Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasyaite katita hyartha prakashante mahatmana. If you want to understand all the imports of the Vedic literature, then you don't just have to have faith in Krishna, but you simultaneously have to have faith in Guru.
當你係想明白呢個偉大經有個真正嘅所謂嘅偉大經有真正要旨嚟講咧，而單止你講對 Krishna 有信心，亦都係對靈性導師有信心。
Anyone else? Okay.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, in addition to what she said in your reply, see, most of the people sitting here, they are non-Indians.
They're not non-Indians.
They are non-Indians.
They're non-Indians. Okay.
And for them, it is easier to accept. Right? It is easier for them to accept this explanation. I'm just sharing with you my experience with some Indian congregation members. About 7, 8 years ago, we used to have a Bhagavad Gita study circle we used to have in the temple. And in that group, all of them, they were Indians. Sarada Prabhu? Is there?
Translation.
喺度在座嚟講咧，都唔係話好有好多啲係非印度人喺度，咁可能你聽上嚟講比較易喺度。咁我自己個人嘅經驗嚟講，可以同你分享下喺度。咁我哋每個星期我哋博家梵嗰講課喺度啦。咁當我去講博家梵課嚟講咧，咁啲印度人佢又點睇咧？
Maharaja also was one of the members in that group. So, to cut the story short, in one session, we had a discussion about Krishna being incarnation of Vishnu. Then I said, no, Vishnu is expansion of Krishna. So that person, he could not accept. He said, because you follow ISKCON, you follow Sri Prabhupada, and what he has mentioned, we are promoting that.
Prabhu, you are a fanatic.
Yes. And Maharaj, he was so much affected.
No, but that's an interest. Let's take that question.
Yeah.
Is Vishnu an incarnation of Krishna, or is Krishna incarnation of Vishnu? Which one?
OK，咁佢講到話有啲喺我哋有博家梵嗰個講課嚟講咧，咁有一次有個印度人就同我拗緊呢樣嘢喺度，佢話究竟係Krishna 係呢個 Vishnu 個擴展，呢個 Krishna 係 Vishnu 嘅擴展喺度，跟住佢就會咁講到話，你哋 ISKCON 啲人梗係喺度啦，梗係講話你哋，因為你跟隨Prabhupada喺度，梗係跟Prabhupada講，你講話Vishnu 梗係 Krishna 嘅擴展喺度啦。咁如果當呢啲咁嘅人嚟講，Maharaja講到嚟講，啲人佢話你係狂熱分子喺度，所以Maharaja咁講，佢話不如我哋調翻轉，我哋咁樣問你講，咁係咪Vishnu 係Krishna 嘅Krishna 係 Vishnu 嘅化身喺度？
Who must have added some philosophy in there, no? Long explanation. So which one?
邊個係化身？邊個嘅化身？
For all my life, for all our lives, most of our Indian lives,
Yes.
we know that Krishna has come from Vishnu. So when I read
So,
the Srimad
yes.
Bhagavatam, it says otherwise.
The other way around.
And
So
then I asked my mother, I said, did you know that actually Vishnu comes from Krishna? And she said, no. None of us know this. So Prabhu is so right.
So actually it's both.
咁講埋一齊講就好似我哋印度人嘅家庭嚟講咧，好似譬如不嬲嚟講咧，都係Krishna 係 Vishnu 一個化身喺度嘅。咁當我接觸到ISKCON 嚟講，我就明白到其實 Vishnu 係 Krishna 一個化身喺度。
Krishna is in the spiritual world.
咁我可以講其實一樣就 Krishna 喺靈性世界啦。
When Krishna wants to create the material world, then he expands as Vishnu.
咁 Krishna 要創造物質世界嚟講咧，跟住擴展成 Vishnu。
So it's clear, Vishnu comes from Krishna.
所以好清楚嚟講咧 ，Vishnu 就係 Krishna 嗰度而嚟嘅。
But when Krishna wants to come into the universe, then Krishna comes through Vishnu into the universe.
咁但係當 Krishna 嚟呢個物質宇宙嗰陣時嚟講咧，佢係咩咧？係先透過呢個 Vishnu 嗰度先再嚟到呢個物質宇宙嘅。
So Krishna comes from Vishnu.
所以亦都可以咁講話 Krishna 係 Vishnu 嗰度而嚟嘅。
Just like if you're in a room and I say Sri Radhika Mataji came from the door.
咁好似譬如我咁講啦，就喺我間房間嚟講，我話 Sri Radhika Mataji 嚟講由條門嗰度入嚟嘅。
Then that doesn't mean she was born from the door.
但係係講我嚟講，佢由道門嗰度出生㗎嘛。
She was existing before the door.
佢其實喺道門之前，你即係喺門口你已經係存在㗎啦嘛。
But we can still say Mataji came from the door.
但係我都講啦，Mataji嚟講係由道門嗰度而嚟嘅。
So if someone says Krishna comes from Vishnu,
咁所以而家有個人講話Krishna 係 Vishnu 嗰度而嚟嘅。
they're right.
我哋可以講係啱嘅。
But they must also understand that that Vishnu ultimately comes from Krishna.
但係都要同時知道嚟講，嗰個 Vishnu 嚟講，你最終嚟講由 Krishna 嗰度而嚟嘅。
Make sense?
Yeah. 合唔合理喺度？大家覺得？
Just wanted to ask Maharaj but what is the need for Krishna to come through Vishnu? If he is Swayam Bhagavan and if he is supreme and he is the absolute, what is the need for him to come through Vishnu when he comes to the material world?
咁以 Krishna 係至尊聖嘅神手嚟講，點解要經過 Vishnu 嗰度而嚟喺度咧？咁有冇咩嘅原因係佢咁做咧？
So say there's a prime minister of a country, does he still follow the traffic routes?
咁就好似譬如一個國家個首長一個部長嗰度嚟講，佢係咪一定要遵守呢個交通嘅守則咧？
In one sense, he's overseeing all the rules. He doesn't have to, but he still follows the rules.
即使所有嚟講，佢其實可以係凌駕所有嘅法律之上喺度嘅，但係自己仍然要跟隨呢啲法律喺度。
So in the same way, Krishna creates up a universal system of demigods, of expansions, through which the whole universe is managed.
咁 Krishna 嚟講，佢創造呢個宇宙嚟講啦，透過擴展做嘅好多半神人喺度啊，好多其他嘅嘢喺度。
So Krishna honors that, and he respects those that he's put into those positions.
咁 Krishna 嚟講係尊敬佢自己放上去擺去每一個職位啲咁嘅半神所有啲嘅安排喺度。
Krishna doesn't need a spiritual master.
咁 Krishna 係譬如 Krishna 係唔需要個靈性導師嘅。
Vedaham samatitani vartamani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Krishna says, I know past, present, future. I know all living beings. And then he comes in front of a guru and says, please teach me.
Krishna 嚟講話，我知道過去、現在、未來喺度嚟講，我知道所有一切，但係 Krishna 就喺個靈性導師，而喺一個人面前接受為靈性導師。
So Krishna always honors the universal system.
Krishna 嚟講咧係好尊重同埋跟隨呢個尊重呢個宇宙嘅規則。
Maharaji, in this context, can we say that when we speak about Krishna and Vishnu and the universe, then in a context we can see the whole universe in Krishna's mouth, right? And how he shows the universe to almost everyone and his mother. So it's like when he comes from the universe and the Vishnu, and then he has the capacity to have the universe in his mouth. So this context, can this be related as well?
佢講到話，譬如 Krishna 係咪同佢媽媽嗰度口嚟講睇到整個宇宙喺度嘅？咁整個宇宙其實就喺佢個口嗰度，咁我哋應該係咪可以咁樣嚟講係理解到喺度咧
Yeah, Krishna shows that everything ultimately is resting within him.
咁 Krishna 嚟講呢個展示嚟講就話俾你哋知就係其實所有嘢嚟講都係棲息喺佢身上嗰度。
The amazing thing is when Mother Yashoda saw the whole universe in Krishna's mouth.
咁呢個就係即係神奇一樣，就係當瑪利亞蘇達見到所有個宇宙嚟講，Krishna 嘅口入邊嘅咧。
Then when she looked closer, she even saw herself and Krishna within that.
但係當你睇埋啲，你睇真啲嗰陣嚟講咧，唔單止睇到自己個宇宙，亦都睇到佢自己同埋 Krishna 都喺入邊嗰度。
Everything rests within Krishna, and at the same time, Krishna is within everything.
咁所有嘢嚟講咧，係棲上 Krishna 嗰度咧，而 Krishna 亦都係響所有呢啲嘢之中嗰度。
Matstani sarva bhutani, Krishna says, na chaham desha vastita. So, who can understand Krishna is beyond the mind.
咁邊個能夠明白到 Krishna 係響我哋嘅想像、我哋嘅知道嘅嘢以外喺度嘅。
Can you speak a moment about the relationship between conscience, Chaitanya Guru, and Paramatma?
咁佢話媽祖可以講一講就係譬如超靈同埋Krishna 呢個叫 Chaitanya Guru 嘅一個關係喺度。
So Paramatma is clear. That's Krishna within the heart who is guiding and accompanying the living entity through many lifetimes.
咁Paramatma嚟講就好肯定嚟講咧，似我哋內心係見證一個靈魂，係指引一個靈魂喺度好多生好多世嘅啦已經。
Consciousness is the symptom of the soul, the symptom of spirit.
咁意識之覺嚟講咧，就係一個靈魂一個徵象嚟嘅。
Conscience is a more it's used in different contexts.
咁講到良心良知嚟講咧，即係當我哋係唔同嘅內容講詞嚟提及到呢樣嘢喺度。
But the most universal understanding of conscience is our innate and intuitive sense of what is right.
咁其實喺呢個一般或者現實性嘅解釋嚟講咧，就係呢個我哋直覺嗰個解釋嚟講，究竟睇落去究竟呢啲嘢嚟講，直覺感覺到你係啱，呢個係唔啱喺度。
The soul has three qualities: Sat, Chit, and Ananda. So the soul is actually full of knowledge.
靈魂嚟講係三個品質喺度，就係 Sat, Chit, Ananda 係充滿所有嘅知識。
And therefore, every soul, even when covered by illusion, beneath all of that is knowledge.
咁你睇，即使靈魂嚟講係被呢啲嘢蒙蔽嗰次嚟講，但係之下嚟講咧，佢都係充滿知識喺度嘅。
And that knowledge is our conscience that even when we're doing something wrong and we want to do something wrong and we're inspired to do something wrong, something within us tells us is wrong.
咁由於呢種咁嘅所謂嘅知識係仍然係即使蒙蔽住，有啲咁嘅知識嘅個良知喺度啊。咁所以我哋做一啲嗰陣時嚟講咧，會良知會提醒我哋講，究竟呢啲嚟講係你係啱定係錯，我哋都係會知道喺度嘅。
So what happens is as we become more and more purified, then the conscience, the consciousness, and the Paramatma all become fully aligned.
咁就係當我哋係意識之覺越嚟越呢個情緒清潔嗰陣時嚟講咧，呢個良知、意識之覺同埋超離嚟講咧，佢哋所有一齊嚟講就好似同一陣線一樣喺度。
There's only one thing we have that factually we can call our own. Everything else Krishna takes away, but the one thing that Krishna never takes away is our free will.
咁其實所有嘢嚟講咧，屬於 Krishna 喺度嘅，而有一樣嘢嚟講 Krishna 冇將佢攞走嚟講咧，就係我哋嘅自由意願。
So the moment you align back with Krishna's will, with Chaitanya Guru, then you are surrendered.
咁當我哋嚟講，我哋嘅意志嚟講，完全係投放於喺 Krishna 一個 Chaitanya Guru 嗰陣時嚟講咧，咁呢個就係我哋係歸依俾 Krishna。
So the word Vraja means to walk.
咁 Vraja 嘅字嚟講就係行咯。
But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says it means that the Brajabasis are always walking with Krishna.
咁佢講個 Brajabasi 呢個字嚟講就係話呢啲居民嚟講，成日同 Krishna 一齊咁樣行。
Sometimes Krishna goes here, sometimes he goes there, sometimes he changes his mind, sometimes he turns it upside down, but they always walk with him.
咁有時 Krishna 嚟講行去呢邊，有時 Krishna 行呢邊，有時 Krishna 嚟講係反轉去行喺另一方面喺度嚟講，無論 Krishna 做咩喺度咧，都同 Krishna 一齊行嘅。
Does this help?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So Maharaj, if you look at in Srimad Bhagavatam, if you look at the various characters of Srimad Bhagavatam, so either they are like saints, sages, or they are kings. So it is, yeah, or they are kings. So it's like the characters are all, in simple words, simplistically elites. Okay, so there's hardly any average Joe or the common man out there when you look at in a Srimad Bhagavatam, the main characters of Srimad Bhagavatam. So either they are very exalted saints or they are kings or something like that. So my question is, and which leads to your yesterday's session that you were doing. From a material perspective, like let's say even if you look at Arjuna, apart from all the spiritual side, so he's the best marksman, he's a winner of all the wealth, so so he's got like pretty cool resume from a material perspective. So following Krishna consciousness, if one is following Krishna consciousness, because to achieve anything, let's say even if you have to achieve, like for Arjuna also, to be the best marksman, he had to be shooting at night also. So he was up at night shooting kind of stuff, arrows and things like that. So then, if one takes to Krishna consciousness, is it also possible to be best in breed from what we in the normal world characterize as success, or it is because you've taken up the path of Krishna consciousness, then your Jiva Buddhi is towards spiritual life and not towards material goals or achievements?
咁代表佢講到一個問題，就有陣時啲博雅同你講，你有描述唔同嘅人，有唔同嘅性格、唔同嘅人物喺度嘅。咁我追續翻琴日我哋上你俾個講課嗰度，你講到你譬如一個物質嘅人，一個靈性方面嘅人喺度。咁一個物質嘅成功人嚟講，好多方面嘅嘢喺度。譬如我講到係講到阿 Juna 嗰陣時嚟講，阿 Juna 嚟講本身嚟講係一個好成功嘅人物嚟喺度。佢嘅野心好大，譬如佢練戰嗰陣時嚟講，夜晚嚟講佢就喺練戰喺度，寫得好準喺度啦。咁譬如當如果係喺靈修方面，連先Krishna 嗰度嚟講，呢方面嘅一個心態喺度，譬如係追逐呢啲嘢喺度啊，呢種嘅野心嚟講，其實會唔會係唔同喺度，或者係截然唔同，或者係會可以用得上喺度咧
I think the first thing is that it's not that everyone in the Bhagavatam is elite. For example, Sudama Brahmana, he was a simple Brahmana.
咁好似譬如我哋講一個普通嘅人一個心態喺度，譬如講係 Sudama Brahmana 嚟講，呢個係一個好普通一個好純潔嘅人喺度。
Of course, anyone who makes it into the Bhagavatam is a saintly person.
咁當然啦，喺聖經教壇入邊所提及人物嚟講咧，全部都係聖人嚟嘅。
But anyone from any walk of life can make it.
咁每一個人嚟喺一生嚟講咧，每一步嚟講咧，因為佢都可以行呢步路喺度嘅。
The Bhagavatam shows that material qualification doesn't matter.
咁喺國家壇上度，其實物質嘅啲所謂嘅資格嚟講咧，唔係十分之重要。
Generally, people think men are more elevated than ladies. So the Bhagavatam has all these stories where ladies are more advanced.
咁好似國家喺物質世界啲人有時有啲人嚟講話男性嚟講係比女性係更高一籌喺度嘅。但係我哋國家壇入邊好多古仔嗰陣時嚟講嘅時候，女性方面嚟講係比男性係更加係勝一籌。
Generally, people think that sannyasis are more advanced than grihastas. So the Bhagavatam has the story of Ambarish, more advanced than Durvasa.
咁有時有啲人覺得嚟講一個係托缽僧嚟講應該比居士嚟講更加係高級啲喺度，但喺博家壇嘅 Ambarish 嚟講咧，係比 Durvasa Muni 嚟講係更加勝一籌。
Generally, people think Brahmanas more advanced than Sudras. So then you have Sutta Goswami, who's Pratiloma birth, instructing sages.
咁好似譬如有啲人嚟講覺得婆羅門嚟講應該比係書台嚟講係更加係高一上。但我睇到你聖博雅壇 Sutta Goswami 嚟講，佢出生嚟講係比較低級嘅，但係比好多聖人嚟講係比廣闊。
People think demigods higher than demons. So then you have Vritrasura instructing Indra.
咁好似譬如啲人嚟講，半神嚟講一定係叻過啲惡魔喺度，但係 Vritrasura 嚟講咧，佢係教導係 Indra 嘅。
Whoever has love, they are the most advanced, not based on experience.
一個嚟講係一個人將問愛心時嚟講咧，係比較係更加係勝一籌，唔係嘅所謂外在嘅資格喺度。
So can devotees be materially successful and strive in their field? Yes, of course.
咁物質奉獻者嚟講，可唔可以係向物質方面嘅一個成就嚟講，向佢嗰方面嘅嗰個範疇嗰方面嚟講，去發展落去係可以喺度。
But what happens is, if they have purity, they won't need to spend all of their time building up their material qualification. Krishna will just empower them.
當佢哋係夠純粹嗰陣時嚟講咧，佢喺物質方面嘅資格嚟講咧，唔需要係花太多力氣嚟講去爭取或者係完成喺度，而 Krishna 佢俾能力賦予能量，佢可以做得到。
Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupashite desham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. If you worship me with love, Krishna says, I preserve what you have and I carry what you lack.
咁 Krishna 博家凡都講到咧，就係、當你崇拜佢以愛心嚟講崇拜嚟講咧，你所有嘅嚟講係我將係保留住，而你爭冇嘅嘢嚟講，佢係俾你。
Bhaktivinoda Thakur was doing all his writing, all his sadhana, all his other things, and then he was going to the work and in 3 hours finished it all. They were like, this guy is empowered. How is he doing it?
咁包括邊度咁樣，你見佢係所有規範守則喺度啦，跟住所有方法之後寫著作喺度啦，咁每日花咁多時間喺度，但係只係喺工作方面嚟講咧，佢只有3個鐘頭就可以完成晒所有工作喺度。你想到嚟講點樣可以做得到，就係 Krishna 俾能力佢。
Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he says, when your desire to serve is so great that you go beyond your capacity, but you continue on without hesitation, at that moment empowerment occurs.
咁 Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj 講到就，當你嗰個慾望幾咁之強烈，你喺度做一啲嘢喺度，而即使呢啲嘢嚟講咧，你嘅能力嚟講係未必及做得到跟住嚟講，但係當你係堅持咁樣做嚟講咧，嗰刻嚟講咧，個能量嚟講就會係賦予俾你。
So if you bring Krishna in, you can be successful in anything.
所以將 Krishna 帶入嚟喺你嘅生命嗰度嚟講咧，你做咩嚟講都可以係成功。
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. Wherever there's Krishna, wherever there's the devotee, Tatra, there must be victory, morality, and incredible opulence.
咁當 Krishna 同埋奉獻者一直嚟講咧，係響嗰度嚟講咧嘅智慧、富裕，所有嘢都會係存在喺度。
All right, maybe we have tomorrow some more sessions, or if you have more questions.
聽日或者可以係某個環節可以再問多啲方面嘅問題喺度。
Okay, last one.
Could you please share what was your path to Krishna conscious? How did you...
Oh, my boring story.
Sorry, Maharaji. I like starting you women for newcomers. For newcomers, it's always a question, is this my path? Is this the path? Is this the right path? So it would be nice to hear from you how everybody, senior devotees, disciples, how they know that this is the path and they move forward with consistency. With the consistency and they advance in every way possible. So it's nice for us to hear this. Even though for you it's boring, but for us it's inspiration.
咁阿專問個問題就係話請媽祖可唔可以講翻佢點樣係成為奉獻者啊，經歷過啲乜嘢喺度？咁但係媽祖呢啲係比較可能好悶喺度，但係媽祖講到話對我哋嚟講啲新人嚟講係好重要喺度，因為點樣可以係喺呢個靈修嘅路上嚟講係點樣去繼續去點樣堅持落去喺度啊？點樣經過對我哋嚟講知道呢啲講係好重要喺度，咁希望媽祖可以係分享下呢啲嘢。
In one sense, everyone's story is the same.
咁喺一點嚟講咧，其實大家故事都係相差無幾。
Our material life was destroyed by the devotees.
向物質生活嚟講咧，就係俾奉獻者嚟講係破壞嘅。
Everyone's story is the same. In one way or the other, a devotee came in your life and messed it all up.
因為其實大家都相差無幾喺度嘅，就係當個奉獻者嚟講，呢個奉獻者進入你內心，你嘅生活嚟講就會搞亂咗喺度。
So I started reading Bhagavad Gita when I was 15.
咁我15歲開始係讀博家梵歌咧，嗰陣有問題啦。
I didn't understand so much. I was too young.
咁我就太年輕喺度啦，我都唔係咁明白咁多。
But then at the age of 16, I started speaking to the monks.
咁當16歲開始咧，我就開始同嗰啲係啲和
Men in
尚傾偈，
orange.
咁係問呢方面嘅知識喺度。
And my dad said, don't get too close to those guys.
跟住我爸爸嚟講，你爸爸講就話，我爸爸同我講就話，唔好同佢行得太埋喺度啊。
I said, Dad, don't worry, I'm very balanced. I'll be fine.
咁跟住我同我爸爸講，你定啲嚟喺度，我會好審慎喺度，會攞得個平衡喺度。
So I was so impressed for two reasons of the devotees. Two things really impressed me about them. Three things actually.
咁有3嘢嚟講呢，我留下深刻嘅印象，我對奉獻者。
First thing was how much prasadam they could eat.
咁第一嚟講就係話佢哋可以食幾多嘅菩薩同祭魚
Wow, these guys.
哇，可以食咁多啊！
But the other two were more important. The second thing was that they could answer any question.
第二點嚟講係比較重要，就係話佢哋可以答你所有嘅問題。
It wasn't vague, it wasn't round and round. They had a clear answer.
佢哋好清楚嘅答案喺度，唔會幾啲模糊喺度啊，或者係周圍揼磚咁樣答啲問題喺度。
So that impressed me.
呢個令到我印象深刻。
And the other thing that impressed me is that they were very hard-working.
咁另一個嚟講咧，令我好印象深刻就係佢哋係好勤力咁做嘢。
I saw devotees serving for so many hours. And I said, they really believe in this. This is amazing.
咁你可以留意到有啲奉獻者嚟講係好多個鐘頭，好多個鐘頭係咁做緊服務喺度，咁你係覺得好神奇，佢哋點樣可以咁樣做到？
So that really impressed me. So I said, I would like to also know so much. And I would also like to be so convinced of something that I can give my heart fully to it. This impressed me a
咁
lot.
之後嚟講咧，我就跟住佢講就係話，我想係知多啲喺度，同埋我覺得嚟講呢個嘢，我應該係放心落去，係跟隨就去做。
So I didn't tell my mom and dad, but I started sneaking out of the home and spending time with the men in orange.
咁於是嚟講咧，我就開始係抽時間嚟講咧，就同呢啲人一齊嚟講咧，係知多啲，同佢哋行埋多啲喺度。咁當然冇同我屋企人講喺度。
The rest is history.
咁其他嚟講就好似係講歷史喺度啦。
So I say devotees are like agents of Vamandev.
咁我成日講嚟講奉獻者嚟講就係 Vamandev 係一個啲代理嚟嘅。
Vamandev he came, he said, I don't need much, just give me 3 steps of
所以
life.
Vamandev 嚟到你講佢話我唔需要你好多，淨係俾3步嘅地俾我。
So the devotees come into your lives, they don't worry, you don't have to change your life, just add a little bit of Krishna.
奉獻者一樣係同你咁講嗰度，你唔需要改變你嘅人生嗰度嘅，即係加些少加 Krishna 落去喺度。
And before you know it, they've taken over everything.
但係當你知道
Nothing left to take.
但係當你知道之後嚟講，已經 Krishna 將你所有嘅嘢都攞走晒，乜都冇喺度，乜都冇得剩喺度。
But when the devotees and Krishna take everything away from you, then they leave you with the greatest thing. They take everything away, and they're such a transcendental thief that they take everything away, and then they leave you with the most beautiful thing.
咁所以奉獻者就將你所有嘅嘢嚟講係攞走晒，好似個超然嘅賊將所有晒，但係留低一個更加最好最重要嘅嘢俾你。
So, in my life I had different names. My parents gave me the name Sandeep. And then I got initiated and I was called Bhakta Sandeep. And then I got initiated and I was called Sutapadas. Nowadays I go around the world and they call me a Swami. What's in the name? Just the name. Ultimately we're all souls just trying to find Krishna. So we're all on the same journey. You're here. That means you're also amazing. Every devotee is amazing. Every devotee has an amazing story. I don't think I'm anything special. Anyone who's trying to love Krishna is special.
咁好似 Maharaja 講，佢話佢自己有唔同嘅名喺度啦。譬如啟迪咗之後嗰陣時嚟講，又係Sutapa，然後跟住接受啟迪之後個 Sutapa， 然後跟住我而家啟迪咗做塔巴真嚟講就係 Sai Kung Town Maharaja 轉到啦，即係佢即係個名嘅問題喺度啦。咁其實每一個人嚟講都係咁做咗奉獻者之後嚟講，你一生改變之後嚟講，其實係都係好特別喺度。我唔覺得係咩一回事喺度。
When I came to the temple, one devotee told me there's good news and bad news.
咁一次我去奉獻者嚟講咧，去到廟宇咧，奉獻者講：有一個好消息，有一個壞消息講俾你聽。
I said, good news first, please.
先講俾我聽好消息先。
Said the good news is you are doing Krishna consciousness already. It's not new for you.
咁跟住奉獻者，你個好消息嚟講就係你已經係好，
Already doing it in the
你
previous
你
life.
你已經係你而家準備好喺度啦，做 Krishna 知覺嘅服務喺度。其實你前世已經係做緊喺度㗎啦。
He said the bad news is you messed it up.
唔好嘅嚟講，你係將啲嘢打亂晒喺度。
Therefore, here you are trying all over again.
所以而家嚟講，你都嚟講就係重新再開始係收集過喺度。
So probably we were all there somewhere. Maybe some of you were there with Srila Prabhupada, right there in the 70s, in another life. Probably. Probably.
咁或者我哋其中有一啲嘢嚟講，其實當已經70年開始係同泡泡一齊都唔出奇嘅喺度。
But we got attached to something.
但係我哋係有些少嘅依附。
Have to let go now. Catch hold of Krishna.
咁而家我哋將啲嘢放手喺度啦，我哋係依附 Krishna。
All right, maybe I should also let you go. Okay. All right. This life is better or my previous life?
Your parents' life.
Parent life? Oh, when I was with my parents? No, I had a very happy life with my mom. I had a very good relationship with them, with my parents.
咁一般問到嚟講話，你同你媽媽個感情方面咁Maharaja講就係話我同媽媽嚟講感情好好，關係好好。
I was a happy child, no complaints.
我細個嗰陣時好開心喺度，唔會投訴嘅。
So, but yeah, the devotees turned my life upside down, and I turned the life of my parents upside down. I returned the favor.
咁奉獻者嚟講，我將我一生嚟講係倒轉改變過嚟喺度啦。咁而可能我做咗奉獻者之後嚟講咧，將我媽媽嗰個生活嚟講都係可能係倒轉咗喺度。
I mean, you come to your parents one day and you tell them, I want to be a monk.
咁或者有啲人你同佢有一次翻到屋企同你媽媽講，點解你做一個和尚喺度啊？
So it was hard for them.
咁當對佢嚟講開頭令佢嘅難些少接受。
A lot of tears.
咁喊喺度啦。
But my mom's happy now.
但係而家經過咁多年嚟講，佢好開心啊。
I think so.
係。
So yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes. I can't believe Mataji, she's just like 1 month with the devotees. She's like a natural. I was thinking like she's like 3 years or something. It's amazing.
咁Maharaja講話，你好似咁樣知嚟講咧，即係同奉獻者相處1個月喺度啦。咁我覺得好自然啊，對佢嚟講，我以為佢已經係成為咗奉獻者3年以上喺度。
How can we live forever?
點樣可以係永恆咁樣存在咁樣生活啊？
If you live with Krishna, then you live forever.
如果你同 Krishna 一齊生活嚟講咧，你就係永遠咁生存落去，生活落去。
There's a verse in the Bhagavatam. Ayur harati ve pumsham budyan ashtam chayanaso dasharte yakshanonita uttamashloka vartaye. That with the rising and setting of the sun, our life is being taken away, except for that person who's always with Krishna. Because if someone is with Krishna, even if they leave the world, they're with Krishna either in this life. If they stay in this life, they're with Krishna. If they leave this world, then they're with Krishna. So in one sense, there's no death. There's nothing, because it carries on. Prabhupada said a devotee serves Krishna, then they go to sleep and they dream about Krishna, and then sometimes they wake up and they're in a different body and they continue serving Krishna. There's no, it's the same. So fill your life with Krishna.
咁喺布加亞談嚟講，有個詩節喺度咁講啦。日上日落嚟講，你個生命係被攞走喺度嘅。但係當同 Krishna 一齊嗰時嚟講咧，你就永遠都係會存在喺度。咁佢話，無論你係再生又好，或者係離開身體又好，只要你係同 Krishna 一齊嚟講咧，你會就係永遠咁生存喺度。而聖包亦都係講到嚟講就係話，當你係同 Krishna 一齊嗰時嚟講咧，無論你係即係唔係瞓覺啦，或者瞓着覺你都係想住 Krishna， 夢想 Krishna 嘅意思嚟講就係當你同 Krishna 一齊嗰陣時嚟講咧，無論你喺呢個身體、另外一個身體嚟講咧，你都係同 Krishna 一齊喺度，永遠一齊喺度嘅。
Organized Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha Vitanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai Harinam Sankirtan ki jai Vaishnav Seva Vaishnav Sangha ki jai
Jai. ISKCON Maharaj, second visit to Hong Kong next year.
Yeah.